ask me, where is America? Why did your president abandon Afghanistan? That Ukraine would not have happened if Afghanistan hadn't happened. So this is just continuing blunder by Joe Biden. He's a horrible leader. He hurts our national security.
Do you think that leadership here should have a stronger chance a stronger stance on China and holding them accountable? Another senator just mentioned to me, U.S. corporations are helping to prop up China, giving them the funds they would need to invade Taiwan. Do you think leadership here needs to do more?
Absolutely. So my biggest national security concerns about China come more from bioterrorism concerns, the research that we're doing with China under gain of function. Look, we've lost over 1 million Americans from COVID, which is really gain of function research funded by Dr. Fauci that China has been executing, and we're continuing to do that. The entirety of America's war since the Revolutionary War, we've lost 700,000 Americans, but 1 million from COVID. We can't begin to do enough. Think about this. 95% of the counterfeits that come in this country come in through China. 90% of the fentanyl is coming in across our southern border, made in China. They're stealing $500 billion of intellectual property every year. Have I said enough? Every day cyber threats are coming, cyber attacks are coming from China. We need to up our game. Long term, they're absolutely the number one concern we have from a threat to America.
And lastly, sorry, on the China issue, also with regards to climate change, we keep investing more in climate change, which is not to argue whether or not we need to transition to renewable energy, but we're just not at a point where we're self-sufficient with that. And right now, the Commerce Department is actually investigating those Southeast Asian countries that Biden just waived tariffs on for potentially funneling solar panels through those countries from China, made with forced labor. Do you think you guys should be doing more to crack down on forced labor persecution, from China?
Yeah, there's absolutely more we should be doing. And let me start by saying I want to leave this world cleaner, healthier, and safer than we found it. But as we think about energy policy and the environment, we need to think about affordability and reliability as well. And what we see right now with Joe Biden's religious experience with their Green New Deal is that actually empowers, it helps those countries like China, like Southeast Asia. Whenever you're just pouring out billions of dollars of American cash, of course these foreign countries are going to find ways to take advantage of it. We need a lot more common sense. We need to unleash American energy.
And the $4 million to expand treatment and prevention for substances in rural communities, and $20.5 million for recovery support. The White House said on Friday that the president recognizes the devastating impact of the overdose epidemic. But as drugs pour across the southern border, Customs and Border Protection has only searched about 18% of vehicles entering from Mexico. Back in August of 2019, Mexico intercepted a 25-ton shipload of fentanyl originating from China. The illegal drug has quickly become the primary cause of overdose deaths in the U.S.
House Republicans have a plan. Our plan is to ensure that our border is safe, regardless of whether you live in Texas, whether you live in Pennsylvania, or anywhere across the country. You deserve to be safe in your home. Part of that starts with ending catch and release, adding technology to the border, and having some laws that are enforced.
Congressman, you mentioned Uvalde. You represent Uvalde. It's in your district where the horrific shooting took place. How are the folks there healing right now?
You know what? We are healing, and we had a football game, high school football game a couple weeks ago, and I was able to attend that. There's 5,000 people in the stands. It was beautiful to see. As horrific as things were, the community, the outpour of love that has come together to get us back on track. But here's another thing that isn't being talked about is because Uvalde is so close to the border, there's still high-speed chases that are coming through our town. So imagine you just had this horrific incident occur, and all of a sudden you're going back into a school lockdown. What does that do for your teachers? What does that do for your students? Imagine you're a parent and you get a text message that the school is going into lockdown. So these are the parts where the border not being secure impacts everybody.
These are interesting points that you don't hear about unless you're a border city or town. How important is it to make a distinction between immigration and illegal immigration?
That's extremely important. I argue the House Republicans, we're the party of the American dream. We're the party of legal immigration. We have vacancies in every single industry in America. Let's fill those vacancies with people that want to come through the front door. I'd love to work with the president or anyone else on work visas. There is no one home there. House Democrats have abandoned this country. Now, it's important.